We're going to start with our Newsmaker segment and focus on the upcoming November election in Jackson County. 7 proposed charter amendments ranging from term limits to limits on the county executive's powers are on the ballot. Here to discuss them with us is former County Executive Catherine Shields, now a member of the Kansas City, Missouri City Council. Catherine, it's great to see you again. Thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
I would guess there is no one who knows more about county government in Jackson County than you. You served, what, 2 terms?
No, 3 terms.
3 terms as the county
yeah.
executive. Based on your experience, does the county government need restructuring of some sort?
Actually, I don't think it does. If you look at the totality of these charter changes, they're really a power grab and a salary increase disguised as term limits. I truly think the term limits are thrown in to get public support, but the real meat of it is what's happening elsewhere. In terms of the salary increase, which is the easiest to understand, when I was county executive by ordinance for the next term after I was no longer in office, we passed an ordinance that linked the salary of all of your elected officials to the salary of circuit court judges, which go up from time to time and is handled by the state legislature. So totally out of the sphere of county machinations. And the change now, for example, the county legislature under our ordinance was set at 1/4 of a circuit court judge salary. They're increasing that to 1/3. The county executive, the prosecutor, and the sheriff go from being equivalent to a circuit court judge to being equivalent to the Court of Appeals.
And their powers would be changed. The county executive would have less power, the sheriff would have more,
yes.
And the prosecutor would have more, I think.
That's exactly right. But let's talk about term limits, and then we'll talk about the powers. The term limits language is written very interestingly. In the city, and let me put my glasses on so I can read you.
I didn't think you needed them.
The city term limits, well, I don't have it here. Basically, city says if you've been elected twice, you can't be elected for a 3rd time,
right.
Consecutive row. But the counties say you can't serve more than 2 full terms, which I think leaves very much open the possibility that
someone comes in at the middle of a term,
right,
you could finish that term and go beyond.
Or how about if 30 days before the end of your 2nd term you resign? No. I think there's no real, and if you look at another provision here, which deals with qualifications for running for any county office, this charter change would disqualify anyone who held a local, state, or federal position from they couldn't even file for a county position. For example, when I was on the city council before and ran for county executive, if this provision had been in place, I would have had to resign my seat on the city council to even run for the position.
If I understand correctly, even if the charter amendments were approved, the county executive, Frank White, has already named a commission to review the changes in the county, and the ones that are passed or presumably passed would be invalidated. Is that correct?
No, if they're approved by the voters, they're in place. Now, you could have a subsequent election for the voters to rescind or change them, but no, once the voters vote on them, that's the county charter.
Are there any of the 7 that you think would be appropriate for voters to pass?
I actually think I am not impressed with any of them. You have, for example, a provision that takes the power to run the jail from the county executive to the sheriff. Given the situation of the jail, I can understand why that's appealing. But the issues with the jail are not going to be solved by who's over it, whether it's the county executive or the sheriff. It's going to be they're going to be solved by having a concentrated focus on how to address all these problems.
Let me get you to go very quickly to city government. Jason Kander's pulled out of the mayor's race. Anybody in the lead now that you know of? Who Who
No,
would you
I think it's pretty much a toss-up now.
And how about you? You've run before.
I'm out.
You're out of the mayor's race.
I am very happy.
Running for a second term as City Council, 4th District at large.
4th District at large. I'm very happy to be doing that, and if the voters allow me, I would like to do it for another 4 years.
Catherine, it's great to see you again. Thanks, as always, for coming in, being with us.
Thank you.
That is Kansas City Councilwoman and former County Executive Catherine Shields. Now let's meet the panel and start a ruckus.